Hello, another week has passed. I couldn't do any work in the evenings. I've been working my job for quite long hours. So first thing I'm gonna just check is our aircon held the pressure. Yay! Air pressure is there. Good. Good. That's good. That's good. I will still disconnect the hoses and replace the little O-rings where they've been disconnected from the radiator, and then that can be sorted out. Now, a big thing. I actually looked into, as you remember last time I took out CV, in the CV joint apart, the drive shaft out, part of the drive shaft out, got new boot. But before I put that in, I'm going to attempt and replace this, both sides of rear bushing on lower control arm. So here it is. Right, this is the other side. So the other side goes like that. That's that from the other one. And this side goes on like this. So we have one bolt there. That's that bolt there. That one there, as you can see. Then we got one here, which is, right, let me just turn the camera around. Right, so that bolt there, which is that one right in the center, and one on the back is the one on the other side there. You can just about see it there, right in the center of the screen. Just about see it. But that one, it's only about 10 mil away from that firewall below them brake hoses. It actually holds anti-roll bar bushing as well. So to get that off, well, I don't know, you can't really see it there. To get that off, I really need to drop the subframe down. To drop the subframe down, I don't know, I might need to loosen up this rear or lower engine mount, support the engine, and then loosen that off. I have to put bumper back on. I need to remove the bumper again and put radiator in service mode. Right, steering wheel column, that bolt there, right in the middle, that will have to be slackened off so I don't ruin our steering box, because everything is going to go downwards and steering is fixed from that point upwards, so I'll have to slacken that off. Then we got power steering hoses from the little tank going down. They look as they're going straight down and they're quite tight, so I'll have to undo the power steering bracket, or power steering tank bracket. Now I can just about see the bolts that I need to remove here. Now, let me see if I can zoom that in. Right, one is there. See that pipe connector on the power steering box? It's right behind it there. There, that's the one. And then other one is on the other side. You can just see about half of it there. Good. So no, plan of attack. There are a few points of this subframe where it's fixed. So you got this bar here, and it's bolted up into this beam, so that will need to be slackened off. There's no worry about engine dropping down as long as when I remove that rear or lower engine mount, I'll have to just support the sump a little bit, because engine is actually mounted onto, not on the subframe, but it's mounted on these beams here, with these engine mounts, one on each side. So bumper off so I can release this front member. I could have, well, I didn't think that far ahead when I was putting that back on. I was so happy just to put it back on so I can carry on. Didn't really look into what's going to be involved in replacing these bushes. So again, bumper off, undo these front members from the front aluminium cross beam, then undo this bolt here. That bolt there will need undoing, obviously one on each side, and then we have underneath the sort of like a driver's seat, we got these plates here. There is, with 3 bolts on one side and the other plate there on with 3 bolts on the other side. That will need to come undone. Yes, them rusty ones, because that is the rear mounting point of the subframe, and then hopefully subframe will be lower down enough to access the two top bolts that are on top there, basically these two. Now that one, I'm pretty sure I might even be able to do it from here. It is symmetrical on the other side, but the rear one I might need to do it from the rear of the vehicle, but being underneath. Right, wish me luck. Engineers, when they design all these things, they didn't look into how people will service. Thanks, engineers. So it is not a quick process, it's going to be a long process. So I'm going to attack it one bolt at a time. Had my breakfast, made myself a cup of tea. It's not very strong, this one, it's about 5th one already. Yeah, so one bolt at a time, one thing at a time, step by step, and hopefully get it all done problems free. So now, before people get really angry at me, I didn't jack the engine by the sump. I literally, I'll show you again. So if I release completely tension of it, it lowers down. So I put a block of wood there, nice and flat on engine, and with my thumb, look at that. All I'm doing is just making that sump supported, just so I get contact there. Okay, so when I remove the bolt from the lower engine mount, the thing just doesn't shunt down. That's all I did. So don't lift the engine there. Just take, you know, just take away from swinging. It's not going to drop, because it's still supported on up engine mounts. which is one there, another one there. Now the lower engine mount has been, the bolt has been removed, so it's disconnected. Remove these extensions here, remove the bumper, there's there, cross member. Now I can carry on. I'm going to slacken off the bolts underneath here, which takes, where's my camera, right hand, okay. So where we took this extension here from this member of the subframe, there's a bolt right up there. It's easily accessible. It's there. It's another 16mm bolt, so I'm going to take one. I'm going to slacken them off, one there, one on the other side. Slacken off this one. Where is it? This one. Then I'll go underneath, and where I showed you earlier, the big plates with 3 bolts each. Try to slacken them off. Steering wheel column, it's been slackened off, that bolt there, and also power steering fluid tank, it's been unhooked from its position, hooking position. So hopefully it will be okay. It will be okay. So that bolt there has been slackened off, as you can see. Same on the other side. That bolt there has been taken out, same as on the other side. See, bolt taken out, and this one here as well slackened off. So now there's already some kind of movement. The subframe has dropped a couple of millimeters down. Now to free up this lower arm, I'm going to undo this joint, lower ball joint here, but to do that I'll take the caliper and disc off, same as I did on the other side. Right, a little thing about these disc securing screws. They are T50. Don't force them, you'll round them off, you'll have a problem. So heat it up, make sure that seal is broken. Don't use impact driver, just use a little create ratchet or something. And to secure disc from spinning, use a caliper cradle and little 5mm Allen key. It's just going to secure it there, secure the disc from spinning whilst you're undoing that. Simple. So brakes are out, caliper is suspended, disc shield is off, lower ball joint is disconnected from the arm. Now I need to get underneath and do then 3 bolts on each side, and hopefully that will lower the subframe downwards enough. Fingers crossed. So here we are underneath. 16mm goes on. So I got 1, 2, 3, and on that side as well, symmetrical. Got 1, 2, 3. I'm laying on my back, very little room, so you'll have to apologize. I'm not going to record this, but again, nice solid grip, breaker bar, and well, just take them out. Once I slacken them, oops, then I'm going to remove. I left one bolt slightly in the other side because I don't want it to drop. I want to see how far really I need to go down with it, because power steering stuff is still all connected there. I don't want it to drop fully. Right, so what I did, got another jack and I supported subframe in a central section, because it's got like four arms going out. So central section of subframe is supported. Now I'm going to take these remaining bolts out. It's not going to drop down anymore. And then I'm going to get out the other side and just gently lower the jack and see how is it going. You got jack, subframe. I'm going to just gently ease it off. I hope I'm going to be able, just very gently. Right, gently does it. Don't know if you can see, it's coming down. Okay, now jack is separated from cradle. Cradle fully now hangs on just two bolts. Them two up there, one on one side, one on the other side. Gonna see if that's enough. If not, I'll just have to go a bit further. Right, everything seems to be okay. You can see how much this has dropped. So if I didn't release that, that will pull out on the hoses. Now that bit there where the steering column comes down, I think I'll have to take that bolt out completely and try to separate that joint. Yes, definitely you have to take that bolt out completely, and that's now separated. So let's see if I can just demonstrate that. I can't see that. Right, now there you go. Where is it? That is separated, you can see. Okay, can we reach the bolt on the back? Can't even see with the camera. It's right there underneath that, well, on the back of that anti-roll bar knuckle. You can see the front one, but the back one is right behind it. So it's going to be a bit of trickery now. Try to get to it, different extensions and stuff. Right, the only way I can reach that is just with a spanner, both sides. You can see there, and this one here. So I'll have to try with a spanner and club hammer, try to hit it and loosen the bolt. If that doesn't work, I might need to apply some heat. Right, I managed to, with a ring spanner, this one here, 18mm, and the club hammer, to slacken off the rear bolt on the near side, on the left hand side of the vehicle. But there's not enough room on the right hand side, on the driver's side here, well, UK driver's side, because of the exhaust. I can't, there's just no room to swing club hammer there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to lower this subframe further down, but in the meantime, whilst it's still connected, I'm going to undo these bolts on the front ball joint. They're two 16mm, it's one there and one there on both sides, because really when I get this undone, I want to take that low suspension arm out and then reassemble it out of the vehicle and then put it all back together. Might even at the same time do a bit of cleaning and put a bit of paint on it. So I'm just gonna slacken off them whilst it's still somehow connected, and then I'm gonna undo that bolt there, that one there, that holds that section of the subframe to the main beam. But hopefully that will lower down enough this subframe to actually access that bolt. Slacken them 2 bolts, didn't took them out, just slacken them. Same on other side. Now the front bolt on the driver's side, it's there, I don't know if it can be seen, the socket there. I use few extensions and I reached it from top of the engine bay and I cranked that loose. Now for the other side I have option of maybe taking the battery box out. Might be able to actually squeeze it straight through here with these few extensions and try to slacken the front one. Right. God, I had to reconnect, I don't know, can you see the low engine mount? So low engine mount is the only point that this subframe is held up, and that gave me enough room to get in here with the spanner and club hammer and release this bolt. God, that was hard. It's only half the job to put everything back together as well. As long as weather holds up, I'll be fine. Believe in God and you'll be guided. As I said, just go step by step and attack one bolt at a time. One bolt at a time, one problem at a time. There are a few bolts. I'm really wondering, you know, maybe I'm just a bit thick, but these bolts, let me just get this one out first. Wouldn't it be, come on, how long is the thread? Yes. God, I can't even. Can't even get a bolt out. This is stupid. Come on. I mean, I'm not engineer, right? Well, am I? Actually, done my university for mechanical engineering, so that basically makes me engineer. But how easy would it be if that bolt went that way? And the other one behind there, that, you know, from the, that way. Oh, for God's sake, look at, bam, you wouldn't even to do anything, you just do it from underneath. 2 bolts, job done. You know, 2-hour job you could make into, don't know, 5-10 minute job. Stupid. And they call themselves engineers. No, they're not. Right, 1 bolt out, still got 3. So I managed to undo the driver's side bolt from up here with few extensions. So that's now all free there. So I'm just gonna undo the front ball joint and then take lower arm out. Alright, one side's out. Now this joint is good. This joint is gone. It's completely gone. Right, now I got lower arm in a vice. Try to pray this inner part of the bushing out. Yeah, it's coming. Yes. Whew. So this bush was in that angle, in that position, so it wasn't like that, it wasn't like that, because you got hexagonal end here. You've got to make sure that new one goes on exactly same way, because don't do that, yeah, it has to go in exactly same way. As you can see how hardly the old one came out, similar way the new one will come on in. It's got hexagonal hole in rubber, so I'm going to get some silicone spray. Don't use WD-40 and other stuff. You can use glycerin oil or silicone. Yes. That's on. Now let's do the other side. cleaned up and freshened up a little bit these roller control arms. Also cleaned up around here, freshened that up a little bit, just using this black satin industrial paint. It's not thick coat paint or anything, it's just, as you can see, it's still a bit grinning, but I'll do a bit more as well. Just everything looks a bit more nice and presentable, and it does slow down rust and rot. Anyway, so now I'm going to start putting it all back together. So I'm going to do this side and the other side and start bolting everything as it was before dismantling. So subframe, it's all fixed, it's all been put back together. So we got 2 bolts there for the front ball joint. We got that bolt there, we got them 2 buggers behind that you can't really see now. Lower ball joint is still off here because I just cleaned up and prepped up the drive shaft, so I can put the joint back together. So there's my joint. There's a little circlip. I'm going to put new CV boot on and assemble it. This on the back here, it's all been cleaned up with a wire brush, blacked up both sides, all tightened up. That left hand side there, that's all been connected, lower ball joint, the lot. That's now ready. So now one of the next things, we'll be putting this drive shaft back in. But before I do that, because I will want to put front grille back on, I'm going to replace, whilst this is drying, I painted that bit there and that bit there. Whilst it's drying, I'm going to replace now these O-rings. I got a set of green O-rings for, as they say, especially for air conditioning systems. So I'm just going to take all this apart, these joints, put fresh O-rings on.